Hello everybody, Smarter Rocky, and welcome back to another video. And today's video is a bit of a old video. I should have posted a long time ago, but I just got off a ban, and I'm doing this video mid-ban, but you're watching it after I'm banned, I think. Yeah. Anyways, this is the time I ran from the cops with my boys after a Halloween party. Let's get it. Alright, so it's October 31st, 2025. Me and my boys heard about this party coming up, and we thought we'd hit it up. And, yo, there was gonna be hella heads there, and shit, there was. But, yo, we were scoping it out right before it started, like, peeping it under this tree, and, yo, there was hella cops coming by. And me and my boys talking to each other, and we're like, we should probably get to the party, yo. So we head down the hill, and, like, into her backyard, sorta. And it was like this open space with a tent and like a heater because it was cold and shit. You already know. But we end up walking down this hill, and right before we walked the hill, we seen my friend Landon, and I think it was my friend Jude. And we're sitting there talking, and it was still a little too early to go down to the party. And we're sitting there talking. He had a V5, I think it was, and we're sitting there blinkering that. Well, I had my joints and all my weed, but he we were getting to talking, and we made this kid Jude, I think it was, he was with us. We made him hit a double blinker, bro. Or he did that his own free will. We were just egging it on, you know. But we see people pull up to the party, and after all that blinkering, we go down there faded as a hoe. And you know, we like walk down the hill, see everybody, chop it up with everybody we see, and then we sit around on this bench type shit, and there's a heater right next to us, and everybody's crowded around the heater drinking, passing blunts, you already know. And this guy Noah comes up to me and Andrew, and he goes, yo, he's like stumbling around and shit, and he goes, y'all want a drink of this rum? And I never tasted rum. I don't like alcohol, so I don't like drinking shit, but I never tasted rum. But Junior already like has before this, and he told me it's good. I deadass took a swig of that shit. Oh, bro, it made me feel like I had a warm pit in my gut, and I didn't like it. And I don't know, bro. I'm a lightweight with that alcohol shit. I can't take any of that. But we swig, and then me and Junior look to each other, and we're like, "Oh, geez, bro, tonight's gonna be a fire ass night." And then we get back to partying. You already know. But we hit it up with my boy Landon some more. Landon, he's got a bit of a problem when it comes to partying. Last two parties I was with him, bro had a thing of Jack and chugged it all, dog. Like, he chugged it all. Like, he's a bit of a party animal, you know? Like, I don't know. But he did the same thing this party with Fireball, and that shit fucked him up. Deadass. It fucked his day up. And we fucking helped him out and shit. But deadass, I was trying to make him counter it with a bit of weed. It goes. But anyways, you already know, we tried to counter that shit with the weed, and he didn't like it. Or like, he was saying, like, the weed will make him throw up and shit. And we're like, alright. So then, we're just chilling around this, like, empty ass campfire. And it's right next to the tent, by the way.
And this girl, Nora, man, she came running up on us because I was rolling up a joint, and Landon had his flashlight, like his phone flashlight, holding it over my like my notepad because I was rolling a joint on it. And she came running over, talking about some fire, thinking we were gonna start some fire, bro. I don't know what was going through her head or some shit because she's like drunk as fuck. But she came over, she's like, yo, what the fuck's going on? And I'm like, yo, chill. We're trying to roll a joint. And she's like, is this a fire? And I'm like, what? We're all looking at her like, what are you talking about? And she just like, bro, she was on some nonsense, that ass, bro. It was annoying, that ass. But hey, bro, we got up out of there, bro. And we kept it pushing, bro. And I rolled up my joints and we smoked a fat doobie, that ass. But anyways, we sat around the campfire and we chilled. Landon had a fucking headache, bro, because he was drunk as fuck. So we was treating him, and you already know we was getting my boy right. And anyways, my boy's boy Weston pulls up, and he goes, yo, I got Zins and shit. They're taking Zins, you already know. And then a few minutes after that, we were like in the front or like the side of her house. And then we go back to the party, and a few minutes later, Weston comes back around talking about some cops, right? And he wants to show me. And lo and behold, we walked around the other side of her house, and there was a cop car, and there was a cop in her like backyard ready to like shut it down. And then we see him, and I'm like, oh, yo. So I started trolling him. I was like calling him a pig. Or I didn't call him a pig, but I yelled pig, but I ran back to the party, and then I started alerting folk that there's a cop there. And then
he comes around and says like, yo, whoever's here needs to go home or whatever. And like a couple other cops, I think, were coming, but there's a bunch of lights. I know that. And so seeing that in what was in my bag, the contents of my bag, um, man, I had a knife, a big ass knife, and a full bag of weed, and maybe like some like tweez in there. But like me and my folk, we came running, right through her neighbor's backyard and through the woods, and then there's like a retirement home at the end of the woods, and we came up in the back of the retirement home. There was a hill with like a house on it, and we ran up that hill with the house, and then we were on like we were above a street, and then we came back down into the street, and then we started walking, me, Aiden, and Jude and Andrew. We were walking down the street, and we were like, holy shit, that was crazy. And we're sitting there laughing, saying how we never get caught. Jude's out there talking about like, yo, this is crazy. And he's like tweaking about it, Jude. But we're walking, and then eventually the cop pulls right up to us. Not the same cop, definitely not. And me and Jude and Aiden and Andrew are all sitting there. And then me and Junior ran as the cop pulled up to us, but Aiden and Jude sat there because they didn't have anything on them, so they were good. The cop just told them to go home, but we ran, and we were like, because we didn't want to ditch our bags anywhere, but we started running, and there's this like abandoned factory or whatever, and then there's some guy's house, and it was like an alleyway of the guy's house and the factory, and we like ran in between it, jumped over some like junk, and then we fucking ran down a dark ass alleyway while the cop is still turning around and coming up the road, like alongside of us, and we run to this dude's driveway, and it was all dark, and on the left side of the driveway there was a swamp, right? There's a swamp and some trees in it, and it was just all woods on the other side. So we kept running down his driveway, a long ass driveway, and right before we get to his house, we dip off into the woods down to the swamp, and we took our bags off, and we just sat there, and as we sat there, the cop came up because we could see him through the woods and shit, shine his flashlight directly in our general, and he kept like driving down the road, and then he turns around, and then his fucking partner in a Durango shows up, and they both spotlight our location, bro. And we're sitting there under this tree talking about something like, yo, we need a dip right now. And they, after a little while, they started to keep it pushing, bro. They were like, all right, bro, we're out of here, and they just started to dip, and they went somewhere else, bro. But that ass, they stayed in the area. And me and Andrew were chilling under this tree. We're sitting there, and we're fucking scared, yo. We're chilling there, and we're talking about it. We're like, yo, what are we gonna do? So we just waited out for a couple minutes, chilling there. And eventually, after 30 minutes or so, we get up. And we thinking, like, yo, we might be in the clear. And we're gassed, so we just chill for a minute. So, in the meantime, the cops spun around, and he was still looking for us on the same spot. And we went to the first spot where we ran, looking to ditch our bags there. And little do we know, the cop came around, and then he started yelling at us. I'm like, yo, Andrew, we gotta go, like, now. And he's like, wait, stop. He turns to the cop, and I'm like, yo, Andrew, we gotta go. And then I took my bag off, threw it in the woods, and because I didn't know if your dead ass about to stop or what. And I threw it in the woods, and then we kept running. Like, I should have grabbed my bag, dead ass thinking about it. But we kept running, and yo, we were back in the same situation we just was. We kept running through the dude's alley and the junk, and the cop was just a little bit faster than us this time. When we came out into that dude's driveway, the cop was already in there. He was just pulling in there, but he was waiting for us. That ass. So we get back in the alleyway. He pulls out thinking we're back in the alleyway, and nah, we just juked them niggas. But we kept going. We ran around the corner, and we come around and then run across the street, and then we hide behind some logs and shit, and bro, we go completely undetected, that ass, and we watching his dumb ass like drive away and shit, and low key, bro, we thought we was in the clear. We came running out some dude's yard behind his behind his chopped up logs and shit, and we thought we was in the clear. We kept walking, boom, another pig. We kept running. This time we're at a train track, and like at train tracks and shit, and we kept running like down the street, and then we cut off into like this old like train car, sat in there for a minute, And then we seen them both. We seen two cops both pass by us. We go completely undetected, and then we chill in for a second. And then we gotta go. We go hide in the woods. See the cop one more time. Go around, and then we was dead ass in the clear. You already know what I'm saying. We go around. He, we go around, and then we run back to his house. You already know. And then dead ass.
We go get our bags the next day. You already know. But anyways, yo, this is the end of this video, yo. I'm so sorry. This video is so buns and it's whatever, bro. I still got a video out. Like, subscribe, whatever, bro. You already know. New videos coming out, bro. Turn your noties on and shit. It's whatever, bro.